From a boy gaining super speed after a mongoose blood transfusion to heroes powered by bizarre accidents like drinking super plastic fluid, these tales push the boundaries of imagination and sometimes even absurdity. Here are some of the strangest superhero origins ever. Number 10. Shatterstar. I just thought that I would start off the video by giving everyone a headache. I just thought that would be fun. Shatterstar is somehow his own grandfather. There are a lot of things in the Marvel universe that leave me speechless, but Shatterstar's origin story is really something special. The hero is somehow the son and the father of fellow X-Man Longshot. Shatterstar was sent back in time in the Mojoverse, experimented on in the past, and his DNA was used to create Longshot, so therefore he is technically Longshot's father. Years down the road, Longshot and Dazzler have a baby, and that baby is Shatterstar. And just to make this even more insane, Shatterstar helped deliver the baby. So to recap, Shatterstar is his own grandfather and midwife, and Longshot's father and son. Now that's a disaster, so to keep the timeline intact, Longshot and Dazzler were made to forget that the pregnancy ever happened, and Shatterstar was sent 100 years into the future. Somewhere along the way, Shatterstar was either split in half or just like had a twin the whole time named Benjamin Russell. Benjamin was in a coma the minute that his powers manifested, but looked exactly like Shatterstar and was his other half. The two were eventually combined again. Number 9. Sam Wilson. Sam Wilson used to be a mobster named Snap, or did he? So we all love Sam Wilson, the Falcon, or Captain America in the MCU, and we all hate Red Skull because he sucks and does things like fabricating an entire fake personality for beloved heroes in order to discredit them and make them his pawns. Sam Wilson was one such hero. Red Skull used the Cosmic Cube to essentially create a mobster personality for Sam named Snap, and controlled him mentally via Snap. This was disastrous for the character because he already lived in a world where people hated him simply because of his skin tone, and now people have been led to believe that he really was a criminal, turning some of his supporters against him. It was Red Skull's intention to use public feelings towards darker complexions to discredit Wilson. In the end, everyone learned that Sam was never Snap, but the damage was done to an extent, and then topping it off, Sam ended up catatonic for a while, and then when he woke up, he went to trial because he did commit some crimes while under mind control. Nick Fury stepped in, and the charges were later suspended. Number 8. Cable. The son of Cyclops and Jean Grey, Cable's birth was orchestrated by Mr. Sinister after he discovered that the two X-Men would produce a super powerful offspring if given the chance, and Sinister wanted to use this offspring to defeat Apocalypse. The problem was, Jean Grey seemingly passed away before they could have a kid, so to fix that, Mr. Sinister created a clone of her, Madeline Pryor. She married Scott and had a kid with him. This is already giving like red strings on a corkboard, but somehow we're not done because we haven't even hit the time travel and resurrections. Jean Grey was actually alive the whole time, so Scott left his family. Cable was kidnapped and all records of him were erased. A psi bond was created between him and his sister Rachel Summers from an alternate reality, and then Madeline Pryor kind of crashed out, which you can't really blame her after your husband leaves you for yourself and then your kid is snatched. Madeline ends up passing away in the end, then Cable was kidnapped again and infected with a virus that couldn't be cured in the present, so he was obviously sent 2,000 years into the future, and then in the future he was cloned because they were worried that they couldn't cure him after all. Apocalypse claimed to be that clone and kidnapped, I guess, like baby Cable to raise him to be a host body when he needs it. So to recap, Cable has had to deal with time travel, clones, super parent clones, an evil self, and a kidnapping, and that's only the beginning for this character. Number 7. Bouncing Boy. Early superheroes really were subject to the strangest origins. Case in point, Bouncing Boy. Bouncing Boy stands out in the DC universe for his just bizarre origin story. Unlike most superheroes who gain their powers through cosmic or scientific means, Chuck accidentally drank a super plastic formula that he thought was soda pop while distracted at a sporting event. This odd mishap transformed him, granting him the ability to inflate his body into a giant rubbery sphere like that girl from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He can now bounce at high speeds and ricochet off surfaces with surprising force and invulnerability. Initially, the Legion of Superhero founders were baffled by his desire to join and and he was even rejected, but Chuck proved his worth when his unique powers allowed him to defeat a villain that was immune to the other Legionnaires' abilities. A simple mistake with a bottle remains one of the weirdest and most endearing origins in superhero comics. Number 6. Black Bolt, specifically talking about his real name. Black Bolt's real name is Blackagar Boltagon. Now that is a name, for sure. Secret identity? We don't know her. Turns out Black Bolt didn't have a real name for a few decades after his creation. He was just Black Bolt, which I would argue is a more normal name than what he ended up with, but hey, he's not from Earth. One day, a Marvel writer decided that was not gonna fly anymore and decided to give this hero a real name. It was subtly revealed in Fantastic Four Annual 18 when Black Bolt got married to Medusa, whose name was also revealed in that comic then to be Medusa Lith, because again, why do you need a secret identity? Just put your name in your real name. The next year, Black Bolt's real name was really set in stone when it appeared in the official handbook of the Marvel Universe. Halfway spot, number 5, Colossal Boy. Jim Allen, better known as Colossal Boy, was a young science police cadet enjoying a vacation on Mars when suddenly a meteor crashed beside him and gave him powers. The meteor's radiation altered his body at the molecular level, granting him the ability to grow to gigantic sizes at will, a power he first discovered in the middle of a crime chase when he suddenly shot up 15 feet into the air to stop a thief. This accidental transformation from ordinary cadet to superpowered giant is made even weirder by just the randomness of the event. A meteor, out of nowhere, just happens to land at his feet and rewrite his DNA. Unlike many heroes with carefully crafted destinies or inherited abilities, Colossal Boy's powers are the result of pure chance and cosmic oddity, making his origin one of the stranger stories in the Legion of Superheroes, which is a feat when it does come to that team. Number 4. Dynamic Man. Made and not born, Dynamic Man is a victim as much as he is a hero. Dynamic Man wasn't born human. He was actually created in a laboratory by the brilliant but horrible Professor Simon Goletter, who sought to build the perfect artificial human. The professor was really against any form of intimacy between partners, and in particular gay and interracial relationships, which mind your business, but he hated all of that and sought to make his perfect human. Brought to life by a surge of electricity, Dynamic Man emerged fully grown, equipped with superhuman strength, flight, and a moral compass that was fashioned off of the professor's. And of course, he was missing the anatomy that would help with procreation. His creator passed as Dynamic Man was coming to life because he was just too excited to see him, leaving Dynamic Man to navigate the world on his own, searching for purpose and justice. He could only help the people, though, that his creator didn't hate, which caused a lot of problems, all the ones that you might expect. And then he later lost his mind when he found out that he wasn't a real human and was actually a robot. Number 3. Freedom Ring. The once ordinary Chris Doyle stumbled upon a free, dumb ring one day and became the superhero Freedom Ring. Chris discovered a fragment of the Cosmic Cube, a reality-altering object of immense power fashioned into a simple ring. With this ring, Curtis gained the ability to reshape reality, but he had no training or real understanding of its potential. His journey from an everyday person to a superhero was marked by awkward missteps and a lack of traditional mentorship, making his story both weird and refreshingly relatable. Instead of a grand destiny, Curtis's path was shaped by luck, curiosity, and the unpredictable consequences of wielding cosmic power without a rulebook. Unfortunately, in the end, the hero was taken out by Iron Maniac, but he did get a lovely funeral and the ring was passed on to the Crusader. Number 2. The Golden Age Flash. This is one of my personal favorite origin stories. The original Flash got his speedster powers from hard water. That's right, the water that might just be running through your taps, the water that is simply just high in mineral content. It could give someone the power to run so fast they can reverse time. Technically, it was the fumes from the hard water that gave Jay Garrick his powers, but still, Jay Garrick was first introduced in 1939's Flash Comics 1. He was a brilliant student that had been working with hard water for years, specifically studying the gases coming from it. One night, while experimenting with separating the water's elements, Jay knocked over the hard water fume glass, and when he tried to clean it up, he fainted from exposure and woke up the fastest man alive. It's been suggested that this ridiculous origin originated from someone mixing up hard water and heavy water. Hard water is water with a higher mineral content. Heavy water is used in nuclear power plants, which makes it seem super mysterious. Heavy water isn't the most dangerous substance on Earth, but it can be slightly radioactive and it is denser, so it would alter someone's body chemistry. In real life, that means that you might just get a little bit sick, but in the comics, that means that you become faster than the speed of light. And finally, when it comes to strange origins, you cannot beat the Whizzer. Bob Frank gained super speed after his father gave him a transfusion of mongoose blood to to save him from a tropical virus. According to his backstory, Robert and his father fled the US, but in the new country, Robert caught a disease, and his father was unable to help him. In a desperate attempt to save his life, his scientist father injected him with mongoose blood after hearing local folklore about the restorative properties of mongooses. I mean, it worked, and it did miraculously cure Robert and granted him incredible speed. This origin is both memorable and delightfully odd. Honestly, the Whizzer's origin story is somehow more famous than the hero himself. Despite his peculiar beginnings, the Whizzer went on to become a member of superhero teams like the Invaders and the Liberty Legion, cementing his place in Marvel's golden age of comics. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments which wacky origin story is your favorite. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye, nerds!